Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Welcome to it. I believe it's Thursday already. God, the weeks just go by blazingly fast. Get it, blazingly fast.
Oh, man.
Did you see that? See what I did? See what I did there?
That's a thinking man's
it's early,
pun.
and yet there's no warm-up switch even on the Genius panel.
You came out cold.
It just bang.
Started rocking and firing at home, man.
All right, masks. To wear or not to wear? Well, that is a question that you can answer for yourself now in Texas and Mississippi. Well, not yet in Texas, but next Wednesday.
So dumb.
For some reason, it won't be safe until next Wednesday. So we have about 6 days left where, the masks are super important to wear.
Do we?
In the meantime, we had this posted on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
From this wonderful woman.
She's a crazy lady,
who says, she tweets, "Screw you, Greg Abbott. I'm wearing every mask I own. Normally a proud Texan, but right now, I hate it here."
Wow, what a freak.
And leave.
She's
also,
wearing dozens of masks.
Here's the thing. The beauty of this is go ahead and wear every mask you own. Nobody's telling you not to.
Thank you.
Which is the difference between what Abbott just said and what he said a year ago almost, which was you have to wear a mask. Now we don't have to, but you also can if you want.
Yeah, it's not an edict that says you better not wear a mask.
You must not wear a mask. Yeah, nobody said that. So what is the problem with, I don't know, freedom?
Yeah, it's all about control, man. And this proves it right here. The backlash that Abbott is getting and the way people like this lady, how they're reacting to this.
It's bizarre.
Why does freedom of choice for the left only apply to killing babies in the womb?
Just the one thing.
I mean, seriously.
Just the one thing.
You can't
even eat what you want.
Right.
According to the left. You can't wear what you want. You can't eat what you want. You can't say what you want, certainly. You can't tweet what you want. You can't joke about things you want to joke about. But you can kill a baby in the womb.
You have no choice.
Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that.
If I get to wear a seatbelt or not.
Right.
I get no choice on where I send my kid to school.
Yep.
We just want the freedom of choice that you guys plastered all over society for years and years, but it only applies
to the one thing.
To killing babies.
Bizarre.
Very bizarre.
It's bizarre. Why would you be pissed that Abbott said you don't have to wear a mask? And then she, in defiance,
what a
wears
strange cat.
Every mask she owns, which is stupid because nobody said she couldn't.
Right, but go ahead.
Go ahead and wear them the rest of your life. Wear them to bed if you want to. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I especially don't care what you do with a mask in your bedroom.
I mean, that's the progressive mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what alcohol prohibition was all about. Let me make the choice for myself.
Yeah. Right. And how well did prohibition work out? That went really well, didn't it?
Americans really love it when you try to restrict their behaviors.
It makes it worse.
Yeah.
Made it worse. Made crime worse. Everything went underground. It didn't work out real well. So freedom of choice. Let people decide. Give them the credit that they're adults and they can decide. But Biden spoke out about this yesterday, too. Apparently, he's not happy with Texas or Mississippi. Here's what he said about the mask mandate being lifted.
Message to Texas and Mississippi. Texas and Mississippi.
Texas, I think it's a big mistake. Look. I hope everybody's realized by now these masks make a difference.
No.
We are on the cusp of being able to fundamentally change the nature of this disease because of the way in which we're able to get vaccines in people's arms. We've been able to move that all the way up to the end of May to have enough for every American, to get every adult.
All 300 of us.
Shot.
All 300.
And the last thing you need is the Neanderthal thinking that in the meantime.
Neanderthal thinking.
Forget it.
All
it
right.
still matters.
We're cavemen.
You love that. What happened to don't name call. Don't be mean to people. Let's not be divisive.
Nobody
We're trying to
said
unify
that.
here.
Where are you getting that?
Well, it seems like somebody who looked like him said something about firing people who acted
I
that
don't know what
way.
you're talking about. Roll that.
Trying
roll
to
that
think.
tape.
That tasty
But I'm
bean
not
footage.
joking when I say this.
Not
Yeah.
joking.
If you're ever working
Not
with
joking.
me and I hear you treat another colleague with disrespect,
Like calling them
talk down to
Neanderthals.
someone,
I
I promise you I will fire you on the spot.
Uh-oh.
Did he fire himself
On
yet?
the spot.
Uh-oh.
No ifs,
On
ands,
the
or
spot.
buts.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Everybody
Everybody.
is entitled to be treated with decency.
Everybody.
Entitled to be-
Except
That's
Texas
been
and Mississippi.
missing in a big way
Yeah,
the last 4 years.
it sure has.
Entitled to be
Well, in the
legally-
last 24 hours, too, it's been missing.
Wow.
But everybody deserves to be treated with respect and dignity except Texas and Mississippi.
Don't spin this. That's if you work for him, Pat.
Oh, okay.
So we're not off limits.
All right.
Or we're off
We are.
limits, Or
We
right.
can be.
I'm tired.
I
Good night now.
tell you,
seriously,
this is amazing.
Oh.
It's amazing. I mean, every
but
day.
Did you notice though? And we've even got another clip later in the show. Did you notice that when he was trying to answer that, he's like, I can't hear the question.
Yes.
The lady's like, all right, come on, press. We're done. Move out. I mean, it was nap time.
Yeah, and he did a little virtual conference yesterday from the White House. And then at the end of his prepared remarks, here's what he said and what happened afterward.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
Okay, he's happy to take questions. And yeah, that's not what they want him to do. Bye-bye.
And
Night now.
Here comes the
Thank you for joining. Bye-bye.
And then it goes to the color bars.
They cut the feed. I'm happy to take questions. That's what everybody wants me to do. And we cut the feed because they know.
Man.
They know he can't do it. And it's already happening on a pretty regular basis. They won't let him do a solo press conference. They won't allow him the nuclear codes on his own. They don't even allow him to take questions now because apparently they weren't prepared for that, and they knew that could go very badly for him.
My goodness.
We are in March. He's been in office for less than 2 months. Less than 2 months. And already they're doing these kinds of things with him.
Yeah, this is day 44, maybe, right in there. So it's been just over 6 weeks. Has not done a press conference. And whatever that was,
Yeah.
that was not supposed to be question and answer time.
No.
Either of those.
Nope. They're managing him right now because I think he's in real trouble. And so obviously then is the country. Because how long can this last? How long can they try to keep this from the American people? This is so bizarre that they're even attempting it. Because they knew full good and well before he was elected that he couldn't do this. They know he's in cognitive decline. Dr. Jill McBiden knows he's in cognitive decline, but she wanted to be the center of power.
Now, you said before his presidency began that he wouldn't make it through the first year.
Yeah, right.
through some
6 months
means.
to a year.
Yeah. I thought, oh, surely he can do that. I don't know. I'm on your side now. It's
The way they're managing him,
Yeah.
it looks bad. Looks bad. Like, I'd like to see in his unguarded moments what he's like without the medication. Wow. Because he's on some sort of medication.
And when he does these calls with foreign leaders, there's like 4 or 5 other people right there, which is probably typically the case with any president. But the purpose of these handlers isn't to advise. It's more to just make sure he doesn't
implode.
And show the other world leader, the American president is in complete trouble. And they know anyway. They've got their spies. They know.
Oh, yeah. Well, they see the same press conferences we see.
Yeah.
And they've seen him for a while. And they're, they might be happy about it. They might be thinking it helps them with a weakened power structure from the United States.
And plus, with the Democrats in the White House, they've got lots of communist spies and
Yeah,
Marxists
they do.
running around everywhere
Right.
transmitting back to Vlad.
And Kamala Harris is waiting in the wings,
Oh, boy,
which is exciting for him, I'm sure.
She sees stuff like that, and you can hear her cackle from D.C.
Oh, yeah. It's incredible. It's incredible. Now, back on January 20th with the oath of office.
Oh, yeah. So, you and I were looking for that name-calling video clip because we knew he said that back on January 20th, the first day in office. And we stumbled onto when he was administering the oath of office.
To a whole bunch of people at once.
I missed this at the time. Look at this.
And if you will,
He's swearing them in.
raise your right hand
Virtually.
He didn't even know which
and
hand to
repeat
read.
after me. I state your name.
Yeah, there's no audio.
Do
Joe.
solemnly swear that I will support and
kinda
defend
threw
the
a curveball at
Constitution of
him.
the United States
So look at this, man. Hundreds of appointees
All at
against
once.
all enemies,
on a
foreign
Zoom
and
call.
domestic.
And you can't hear whether or not they're taking the
Are
oath.
they taking the
That I will
oath or
bear
not?
True
We don't
faith
know.
and allegiance
We are
to
in
the
hell.
same.
How can you possibly do it like
That
this?
I
This is
take this obligation
wrong.
freely
I did not see this
without any
when it
mental
happened.
reservation or purpose of evasion.
And look how many government employees it takes. That's
And
just
that I
two
will
monitors.
well and faithfully
There was at least three.
discharge the duties of the office on which I'm about to enter.
Look at this. I thought I was going to pan. Yeah, we got it.
So help me God.
And they could be.
They could be saying anything. They
Thank
could be
you.
taking
Welcome.
the Soviet oath.
As my
Right.
mom would
We
say,
don't know.
God
I
love you all.
God love you
We got a
all,
lot of
yeah.
work to do. A lot of work to do. Thank you for being willing to join.
I mean, there's probably
Bye-bye.
one guy in his boxers raising his hand, just like yelling out like Tech Mobile phrases or something, Ready, down, hut, hut, hut. I mean, you have no idea what they're saying. There's
None.
no microphone.
It's amazing.
We
That's-
are in a strange time.
It's stunning that you could administer the oath of office that way. That's stunning to me.
That's what made me mad. I remember when Obama was signing stuff on. He signed the first stimulus on an airplane with like a. Now that was 12 years ago, and I've signed documents now electronically too.
Oh, all the time, yeah.
But at the time, it was just like that just doesn't feel right. Okay, now that feels totally fine now compared to that nonsense we just saw with Biden.
Well, with this COVID lasting forever, it might feel perfectly natural to us in 10 or 15 years, as we continue to do everything virtually because you might come down with some cold or flu symptoms.
I mean, they're looking for every excuse to take over your life.
Yeah. In fact, Fauci just said yesterday,
Oh no, what?
he really doesn't think we'll be back to normal by March of 2022.
I don't care what the man.
I don't think we're going to be completely normal a year from now, he said, but I hope we're well on the way to normality so that we can ultimately get the world protected at the same time as we get economic recovery so that all the unintended consequences of shutting down begin to normalize, including other health issues that have arisen because of the shutdown. Now, if we only begin to normalize our economic recovery in a year, you can forget about economic recovery. We'll be in a deep depression by then. You imagine if we continue down this path for another year?
And did you hear him slip in, get the world?
Yeah.
Oh, now?
Yeah.
So we're moving the goalposts. It ain't America no more. Now we're not going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief until the world is on track now and out of the woods.
Yeah, that'll be the excuse that they use to keep us doing the same thing that Europe is doing. In fact, Germany is talking about going back to lockdowns because they've got, I guess, another outbreak. Jeez. Okay. It's so frustrating.
And you can say, Germany's not our problem, and then they'll say, we're so interconnected now.
That's exactly right.
Shut up.
All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Patriot Mobile. Some great news about our friends at Patriot Mobile. They just expanded their coverage dramatically, so that makes it easier for even more Americans to drop their big-name carriers who charge way too much and then donate that money, some of it, to leftist causes. That's why we're proud to partner with Patriot Mobile, because they've never sent a penny to the left. They'll never try to silence you. And, of course, they're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. Plus, you can switch easily and with confidence, knowing that They're on the same towers as the big name carriers, but they just charge a lot less. And they know that, you want to do the right thing, but you don't want it to be a hassle. So they take the hassle out of it. They make it really easy to switch for you. You can keep your phone number or get a new one. You can keep your phone or get a new one. And you can build your own bundle with multi-line discounts now and save even more. Just go to patriotmobile.com/Pat. Get all the details. Or you could call their U.S.-based customer service team, 972-PATRIOT. That's 972-PATRIOT. If you're a veteran or a first responder, you'll save even more. And this month, you'll get a free Premier activation where they set up the phone for you, and you get a special gift thrown in as well with the offer code PAT. PatriotMobile.com/Pat. That's PatriotMobile.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
SpaceX launched their Starship into high-altitude flight and then brought it back down
Cool.
to a safe landing.
Cool.
And then it exploded.
Oh, no. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Look how cool it is. Things coming down. That is awesome, man. That looks fake.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay.
Look.
Okay, it's evening out. It's leveling.
That is so cool.
A lot of dust being dispersed. And it touched down.
How awesome is
Ta-da!
that? Let's celebrate. Yay.
So
Let's
everything's
clap.
great.
Yay.
Everything's great. Worked out. Whoa. Oh, boy.
Oh my God. There you go.
Oh, wait now. Hey.
Whoa. Okay, why?
Okay.
Oh, man.
Boom. Wow.
Nobody injured.
Yeah, fortunately,
yeah.
nobody was in that thing, and nobody around it got hurt. So that's the good thing.
Yeah.
But they don't know why it exploded. It touched down just fine. It landed fine. Why did it explode?
That stinks.
They don't know.
Yeah.
If you're an astronaut, are you a little nervous at this point? Because I think I am.
I'm busy.
I wanted to be an astronaut, but I don't know. I think now I'd rather, cut hair for a living. So...
Hey, we want to send some astronauts up on the next SpaceX. Oh shoot, I'm washing my hair. But you're bald,
man.
Keith. Yeah, I've just gotta wash it.
That was the first Starship prototype that they had successfully landed back on land, and then inexplicably it explodes.
That counts, right?
I guess they're counting it. Yeah,
Stuck the landing.
Yeah, they stuck the landing. They got a 9.8 from the German judge.
Well, speaking of Germany. I mean, stuck the landing better than they did with their. That's what that reminded me of. Hindenburg. The Hindenburg. Let's see. Is it too soon to look at this, man? Look at this footage.
Yeah, too soon.
Too soon.
That was what, 1932?
Yeah.
34.
I mean, now,
too soon.
People were.
Oh, the humanity.
Injured. Yeah.
People were killed in that one. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I saw the SpaceX thing. That's what came to mind. Oh, the humanity. Boy, look at that.
I don't know that I've ever heard this long of
look at these people running.
Audio.
Look at these people that were going to be tying it down. And it landed right next to them. Well, some of them it landed on.
Jeez. And until that time, they were going to land those Zeppelins on the Empire State Building, or one of the really tall buildings in New York actually had provided for the fact that one of those could land on it. And then people can just get out of it and go straight down the building in one of those deals, one of the Zeppelins. That didn't. And because of that, I think they said, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe we won't do that.
I wonder if those platforms are still there, like waiting for that inaugural Hindenburg trip to Tower, whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna have a long wait, I think, if they are still there. But
that's what I was thinking yesterday when I saw that, because that stunk. But I mean, look, it counts. It stuck the landing, and then it stood there for a good 5.
Does it say how long
seconds?
it was?
I don't know, 5 or 10 seconds, right?
Is that what it was?
I don't know. That's what I just said, right?
5 or 10 seconds.
And then I threw in a right because I didn't really know.
I
just watched the video. We just didn't time it.
Right. Well, I think they edited it to
Oh,
the
really?
explosion. I think so. Let's watch it again.
Because I didn't
think,
see it live.
Yeah, there's a little time lapse thing going on here.
Oh, well, that stinks. Oh, no.
No, not the Hindenburg. The SpaceX.
Oh, the humanity.
The SpaceX landing.
There we go.
And this really does look fake. That's really
let's see
weird.
the T- on there. Does that change? Everybody listening probably knows how long it stood there. We have no idea.
Oh, you do see kind of a... Well, those are just the retro jets firing, though, I think.
Yeah. I'm looking at the clock. See, watch the clock.
Yeah, 6:19.
Okay, so 6:20, it touches down.
21, 22. All right, now they've
see,
switched completely.
Oh, look,
And-
T-, look at that. They're right there. Yeah, so that was
Boom.
about 8 minutes.
8 minutes later.
I don't know. Chris Cruz,
Yes.
he's not in the house.
Very weird.
He knows all this stuff. I didn't see it live, so
Yeah,
sorry.
I didn't either.
Now,
but
we
that's-
could have, if you wanted the genuine experience, we could have just played it and then just sat here for 8 minutes and watched it, stand there until it exploded just to make sure we got our count right. But
we could have.
edited for
Yes.
time.
Which was probably a wise
Probably
thing to do. Yeah. 888-933-93. Also, Amazon has tweaked their app icon after comparisons were made to looking like Adolf Hitler.
Look at that.
Come on.
So it's tape, and it looks like a Hitler mustache above a little smiley face. So...
What a stupid society we
Yeah.
are, though. Come on.
And of course, Amazon didn't make a big deal about it. They didn't say anything. They just changed the logo quietly and moved on. But it's good that this happens to, one of the cancel culture leaders.
Yes.
They took
that
Parler.
does feel good. As stupid as it is,
Yeah.
at least it happened to Amazon.
Yeah, they took Parler offline, if you recall. So
Amazon's new app logo, looking like they're the third most downloaded in the Reich section.
Oh, yeah, these are comments from people.
Comments from users. They also took note of Amazon's tweak in which the blue tape was made to look folded over. In my humble opinion, I completely missed that Amazon quietly tweaked its new icon to make it look less like Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
Unsurprisingly, they did not send out a press release to announce the second redesign. I mean, what a stupid society we are. How much worse is it going to get before we finally stand up and say, okay, that's enough?
But again, that right there this is the world that Amazon has created.
Exactly.
And you get to lay in that bed.
But that's why we have to complain about it for both sides.
Sure.
Because both sides have to come together and say, look, this is ridiculous now. Can we stop with this? Can we just stop? Yep. This is fascism. What's going on in America right now is not American. It's fascistic. It is Benito Mussolini's Italy. Mm-hmm. It is Adolf Hitler's Germany. It is not America. And it has to stop. Or, I mean, we're going to have this is like a Mao cultural revolution that's in progress right now.
You're the grammar police. Will you help me out and settle a debate that's raging in my brain right now? Mm-hmm. So does Amazon have to lie in the bed that they made, or does Amazon have to lay in the bed that they made?
Lay and lie.
That's a tough one, man.
It is a hard one. I don't know.
How about Amazon? You get to sit in it. See, work our way around it.
Mm-hmm. You made your bed. Now lay in it.
Sit.
Now put yourself in it.
Sit in your bed. Think about what you've done.
Or just lay down.
Lay down.
You wouldn't say lie down, would you?
I don't know.
I never do.
It hurts.
I never
My
do.
brain is on fire. I don't know.
There's this great article, though, by John Daniel Davidson from The Federalist, who wrote, Dr. Seuss has been canceled. Some of his work has been deemed racist, and we can't have that. On Tuesday, the entity that oversees the estate of Theodore Seuss Geisel announced it would no longer publish 6 of Geisel's books because they portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. Among the works now deemed, and then he names them. There's not much point in quibbling over whether these and other such illustrations in the condemned Dr. Seuss books are in fact racist or bigoted, or whether Geisel held racist or xenophobic views. By all accounts, he was a liberal-minded and tolerant man who hated Nazis. And as a political cartoonist, mocked the anti-Semitism that was all too common in America during World War II. He was also a man of his era. Later in life, he regretted some of his political work during the war that stereotyped Japanese Americans, which, as jarring as it might seem today, nevertheless reflected the attitudes that were commonplace at the time. That's something we never take into consideration anymore.
Nope.
You can't say, well, in that time period, people felt differently. Doesn't matter. As he mentions here. But context and nuance don't factor into the inexorable logic of the woke left, which flattens and refashions the past into a weapon for the culture wars of the present. What's important to understand is that this isn't simply about banning 6 Dr. Seuss books. Right. All of Giesel's work is, in the judgment of the left-wing academia, an exercise in white supremacy, paternalism, conformity, and assimilation. Might be easy for conservatives to laugh that off as nonsense, but they shouldn't, because this isn't really even about Giesel. The left is carrying out a cultural revolution. To grasp how a man known as much for his messages of tolerance as for his artistic genius could be canceled for racism, you have to understand what's actually happening here. The left's war on the past, on long-dead authors like Giesel, isn't really about the past. It's about the future. It's about who gets to rule and under what terms. There's a predictable pattern to what we're seeing now. It's predictable because it's happened before in much the same way it's happening now. During China's Cultural Revolution in the 1960s and 70s, the Chinese Communist Party, at the direction of Mao Zedong, called for the destruction of the 4 olds. Old customs, old culture, old habits, old ideas. All of these stood in the way of Mao's socialist ideology, so they had to be destroyed. Is that not exactly what's happening right now? And exactly what it was that Michelle Obama said was going to transpire.
And Barack knows that we are going to have to make sacrifices. We are going to have to change our conversation. We're going to have to change our traditions, our history. We're going to have to move into a different place.
And wow, have we ever done that? We've changed our conversations. We've changed our traditions. We are changing our history. And certainly the way those in history are being judged and looked at. And it's so dangerous.
We're changing what's right and what's wrong, the definitions.
Absolutely. He continues, children and students were encouraged by the communist government to inform on their parents and elders, to shame and condemn them in public. The guilty were forced to recant in struggle sessions, during which they were mocked and humiliated, sometimes tortured, sometimes murdered. Before it was over, millions were dead. We're obviously not there yet, but the woke revolutionaries who now run our elite institutions and exert outsized influence in the corridors of power are following this same pattern. First, they come for the monuments, destroying the icons of the past, rewriting history to turn even our national heroes and founding fathers into enemies. The animating ethos of the mobs pulling down Confederate statues is the same as the New York Times editors who gave us the 1619 Project. And because there's no limiting principle to iconoclasm, they have moved on from Confederates. Yeah, I mean, they've moved on to founding fathers and have been successful in removing founding fathers. And even Abraham Lincoln. Pretty tough to find a way to condemn Abraham Lincoln to the point where you got to tear down his statue.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to call him a racist? The guy who is responsible for the Emancipation Proclamation. That guy. A racist. Okay.
I mean, what is Saul Alinsky? What was it? It was pick the target, freeze it, personalize it, and polarize it.
Wow. Are we ever there? Great to have you with us. Got some tweets here from Gears. I like this.
Oh, no.
The mask holes are freaking out Because the word freedom isn't anywhere in the Constitution.
Oh.
Your Honor.
The word woman does not appear even once in the U.S. Constitution.
Nor does the word freedom. Your Honor.
All right.
So dramatic.
And a scene that never happened in real life, just in the movie.
I love
Just
that
in the
when they
Ginsburg
do
movie.
that. When they take historical movies and they just kind of...
Especially something important like that. Like, that's a big deal. Of course, it never occurred. Caffeinated Texan tweets, you can't spell Fauci without an F and a U. That's fairly true.
It is true.
I would say that's true. Kara 3022. Can anyone explain why Harris is always hovering in the background when Joe comes out to speak?
Seriously.
Just in case she has to jump in.
Probably.
And help out.
Yeah. I mean, that's it's creepy.
It is creepy. Ill-Gotten Booty tweets, here's a conspiracy theory for you. Elon Musk is an alien trying to get home. Not mine, but a friend's theory.
I don't know. I would stick with it. I kind of like that one.
I've seen that online, and I think he once said, he tweeted out that he was an alien, and everybody jumped all over that. And so I don't know if they really think it, or I honestly don't know. I mean, who knows? Helen Keller's not real. Birds don't exist. Elon Musk is an alien. I don't know. Weirder things have circulated.
Trying to get home. Come on.
Duct tape freak tweets, I was taught in school that lie down is when you lie yourself down, and lay down is when you lay something else down. I still use them interchangeably, though. Yeah, I don't use lie down because it sounds too, I don't know, elitist. I'm going to go lie down for a moment.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm exhausted from all you little people bothering me, so I'm going to lie down now.
Did that 3-hour tour wear you out there?
Yes. With the one where Ginger packed her evening gowns. I don't know why she did that for a 3-hour tour, but she did. All right. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Bachelor host Chris Harrison has been replaced with an ex-NFL player. And there's a disclaimer added to at least the next episode, I guess.
The last one a couple nights ago, yeah.
At least temporarily replaced. And old footage of Harrison, which aired this week on this week's episode, has been given a disclaimer. Oh my!
So
are you serious?
Stupid. So this guy, he's accused of murder. Is that right? This host. Is that why they're kind of having to play it cautiously
it's
now?
Something far worse than that, Keith.
So
he actually defended somebody who might have said something racist.
What?
But he didn't think it was.
No. Defended somebody who went to an Old South
that's right.
party
Didn't
or something.
Say anything.
Like wore a hoop skirt or something.
Went to an antebellum party.
Sure. Oh my gosh. I'm so offended.
That is incredible.
So to recap, one of the Bachelor contestants.
Yeah, the Bachelorette.
Right. Okay. Or whatever the heck.
I don't know.
Went to in 2018. Way back in time, right? Mm-hmm. Went to a Old South party
where you dress up.
A big freaking deal.
And he said
she gets canceled.
He said something about it being the woke police coming after her. How dare you?
And how we should show her some grace.
Oh my God!
Whoa!
And that's
forgiveness? What
that's
the hell? Not in this country.
Yeah.
And so then they canceled him.
Rachel Kirkconnell should be given grace and understanding and be allowed to explain the photo. And that was too much for everybody to handle. Wow. Come on now.
So we have to cancel him. So we cancel her, we cancel him.
Yeah, he had to leave the show. And it's at least temporarily gone. He's gone certainly for the rest of this year. They don't know if he'll ever be back again hosting
What were you saying?
Bachelor.
He probably will be back because what happened with the ratings?
Yeah, the ratings tanked. They had their second lowest episode of all time.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that. Now, what they'll tell you is...
What?
Well, that's because the girl did the racist thing of going to the antebellum party, and then she was defended by that guy who used to host the show, so I'm not going to watch it anymore. No.
No, because their host, the one they're used to for 25 freaking seasons, isn't there anymore. And it makes it less interesting. It makes it less comfortable for the audience. It's
I love this. I love it when
incredible.
it bites him right in the backside.
I do too. It serves him right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be back for the Women Tell All episode. He's not back for anything this year.
Oh, shoot.
And so...
Well, then I'm going to unset my VCR. Or whatever they're called these days.
Monday night's episode had just 4.69 million viewers and dropped in the key demos, too. The show lost about 800,000 viewers from the previous week. Wow. How about that?
How about it? And so
they deserve it.
And what's the latest thing where we had Gina Carano obviously got kicked off of The Mandalorian, and then her fellow actor, was it Burr?
Bill Burr
yeah,
defended her.
Yeah. And
he's probably going to be kicked off now, too, right? Because you can't defend somebody who's indefensible.
Yeah. So,
how dare you try to stick up for a friend? You can't do that.
Is it over there?
How dare you try to be loyal to somebody and
try
to extend some mercy and forgiveness to somebody? What?
So wait now.
You think this is a Christian society? What? Come on now. Come on now.
So when do we cancel him? Because isn't that the same thing that the Bachelor guy
It's the
did?
exact
He
same
defended someone that got canceled.
Yes.
So now they're going to have to... You might as well just write off the whole cast of Mandalorian, because you have old tweets of the star, the guy who plays the Mandalorian, where he was making the same... He was comparing like Republicans to Nazis or something like that. And all she did was make Nazi references as well, which is exactly what is happening.
Yep. Yeah.
Get rid of everyone. There should be no one. There should be no TV shows. Period. And isn't The Bachelor on ABC?
Yes.
Doesn't ABC own Disney or vice versa?
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah,
So
Disney owns ABC.
Same company.
Mm-hmm. Same company.
So let's go.
Right.
This world is just freaking insane.
So Bill Burr said about Gina Carano, I'm on that effing show. Now I got to watch what the F I say.
He's like the character that he plays.
They canceled her action figure. That's how deep cancel culture is. They canceled her action figure. It's like, let the action figure come out. Oh, how dare you say that? And then somebody asked him if she ever pitched her conservative ideas to anybody on the show, because then she'd really deserve it, right? You should burn her at the stake if she did that. But Burr said no. She was an absolute sweetheart. Super nice effing person. And, whatever. And somehow, someone will take this video and they'll effing make me say something else. And, try to get rid of my bald action figure.
This guy's great.
He's really funny, too. He's got I think it's a Netflix comedy special.
Oh.
It's not for the faint at heart, for sure.
Oh,
and
wait,
it's
so
not for children.
You can't bring the kids in? Hey, you want to see the guy from The Mandalorian do a comedy act? No.
I wouldn't gather the family around the old Victrola to watch that.
Old Victrola. So one of the things he just said, he was asked, what a stupid question, was, did she try to push her conservative views on you?
Right.
On the set?
And he said no, she was a sweetheart. Like, you wouldn't be a sweetheart if you just said something conservative to somebody?
Yeah, well, that's become the new way to drum people out of society, is if you find out they're conservative.
Then they got to go.
Yeah.
Then they got to go. All right. Well, there's a lot going on, and you're going to need to be a healthy person to stand up to it. And there's a way you can get healthier, and that's by taking Texas Superfood into your body. The top two things people say they notice when they start using it is they notice more energy and better sleep. And those two things obviously go hand in hand. Texas Superfood gives you the power of nutritionally dense fruits and vegetables. Enzymes, probiotics, all of that stuff. I don't know what it does, but I know they're healthy for you because everybody talks about them. Texas Superfood is organic, vine-ripened, antioxidant-rich, raw natural fruits and vegetables that make maintaining proper nutrition incredibly easy. They use only the finest quality ingredients, so they can give you the best all-natural product possible. Each ingredient's been certified and selected to give you optimal nutritional intake. And with their grab-and-go packaging, you're going to be able to guarantee that your Texas Superfood will be there when you need it. All the fruits and vegetables used are grown organically from locally sourced farms. This is just the highest quality stuff on the market. Go to TexasSuperfood.com right now and check them out today. That's TexasSuperfood.com.
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on the Blaze.
So a majority of academics support discriminating against conservatives, according to a new study. 1 in 3 conservative academics has been threatened with disciplinary action for expressing their beliefs, according to a new study. Research from the Center for Study of Partnership and Ideology, released Monday, shows conservative professors and graduate students are guaranteed to face discrimination in academia. University of London politics professor Eric Kaufman conducted the study, which he says is the first to focus on how academic authoritarianism threatens conservatives on campus. Kaufman analyzed 8 surveys of graduate-level professors and doctoral students, the majority of whom said they would not oppose discriminating against their right-leaning peers in some form.
The majority
that is
said that's fine.
Absolutely incredible.
Frightening.
10% of academics support outright canceling or firing conservative professors who express their views. That's fine. Yeah, it's
good.
That's fine.
It's good.
Based on politics, yeah, you could absolutely discriminate against some. Again, who was the Federalist writer that wrote about, hey, we need actual laws in place to protect us as a discriminated against group. Like conservatives need to be a special interest group.
Mm-hmm.
With the protections extended to people based on sexuality or gender or religious affiliation, any of those things, the right needs it as well, because look at everybody's fine with it.
Yeah, that was a great
Everybody's
post,
fine with it.
A great thread by Chad Felix Green.
Yes.
And you read that a few weeks ago. He's absolutely right. A writer for the Federalist, Chad Felix Green. Check his stuff out because he's an outside-the-box thinker. What a scary time.
Yeah, you might say that.
You dehumanize a group, right? And we talked about Saul Alinsky. You isolate them. You just had the president of the United States say that if you want freedom of choice to wear a mask or not, you're effectively
a Neanderthal,
uninvolved caveman.
Yeah. And I was reading the John Daniel Davidson article from the Federalist, who was writing about the Mao Revolution going on in America right now. Let me read the last paragraph to you that he wrote. He was talking about Dr. Seuss and how this isn't about Dr. Seuss, it's about the rest of us too. So he writes in conclusion, so forget about Dr. Seuss, forget about the statues and the books. Those things are just the beginning. It could easily get much worse. The woke revolutionaries of the left can't be bargained with or appeased. They believe this is a zero-sum game, that one side will win and one side will lose. And they're right. And so is he. He's right. That's why we need to seek protection for conservative viewpoints. You can't be drummed out of society just because you express a political point of view that differs from the left. But they think it's fine. And every political thought from the right is now being called a conspiracy theory, essentially. Anything that you express is just a right-wing extremist point of view that should not be respected and can easily be dismissed, and so can the person who espouses the belief. They can be canceled and they can be shut down, and we don't have to listen to them.
They don't want to debate. They want to control you. Don't be questioning them.
Well, they can't debate because they can't win the debates, and they know that, and that's why they're trying to shut us down, like the fascists they are. So we got to stand up to it, or It'll be the old poem. First they came for the socialist, and I wasn't a socialist, so I did nothing. 888-900-3393. Let's go to Drew in Florida. Hey, Drew, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, good morning, Pat. How you guys doing?
Doing good.
So, you played a clip earlier of the president as he was going to take questions, and obviously they cut his feed. But I found it interesting. I flew on Air Force One for about 8 years under Presidents Bush and Obama, and I've never heard a president say, "I'll take questions if that's what you want me to do." As the leader,
that's a good point.
The United States, I don't think the president should ever be going, well, if that's what you want me to do. I just, and then you said, why is, the vice president always behind him? Is somebody pulling the strings here? What's going on with the president? So it just doesn't build a whole lot of confidence in his leadership.
No, it really doesn't. No, that's a great point, Drew. Appreciate the call. That's true. Just the fact that he asked the question at all is concerning.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't either. Play that clip again, though, and see what he says here at the end. It's amazing.
Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions if that's what I'm supposed to do, Nance, whatever you want me to do.
Okay, the fact that they cut that feed is what we focused on. But the fact that he asked the question in the first place is a really good point.
And I think the other person on that call, he said Nancy Pelosi was also on that. But still, I don't care if it's the Speaker of the House. You don't ask permission.
President. He's the president.
Ask permission from anyone,
And I'd be happy to take questions now. And then if the people around him don't like it, tough. He's the boss, right? Not in this case, obviously. Not in the case of Joe Biden. That's interesting. Is there a number people can call, Ivan? Yes. Oh, yeah, that is.
No, it's 911.
Okay.
This is an emergency. We need help in the White House stat.
888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Traffic and weather together every 3 minutes on the twos. All morning long. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. This is great because we've just released some immigrants at the border who tested positive for COVID-19. Yeah, so just 108 of them right now so far.
You can't make this stuff up, man.
That we know of. So they were released by the Border Patrol into Texas. So they're just wandering around freely, spreading around COVID-19.
So wait a minute.
Which I thought wasn't cool to do, but
presumably the left is angry that you now have the choice to go with or without a mask in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
But they love the fact that we're releasing illegal aliens into Texas
who have COVID-19. Mm-hmm. Now, the 108 positives represent 6.3% of the number of total migrants who have been rapid tested at the city's main bus station. 6.3% of them have COVID-19.
But why are we testing them if we're releasing them? What does it matter?
I don't know. You got me. I mean, none of this makes sense. But yeah, go ahead and we got no authority to hold you. Don't worry about it. Just go and infect America. We don't mind. Go infect.
Yeah.
That's so great.
You saw the press isn't being allowed by the Biden administration to go down and see the kids in the cages.
Well, no, because of COVID-19.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
What is COVID-19?
COVID-19.
What did you say? Because of COVID-19?
Yeah. It's a disease that people get.
They're concerned
that's why you see all the piles of dead bodies all over America.
So they're
all died from COVID-19.
concerned with the press interacting with COVID-19
the COVID-19 people who have been released into Texas cities.
But they're free. Like they're
yeah, they are. Yeah, I know. Those are gone now, but there's still more coming, and they will have, some of them, at least 6.3% of them will have COVID-19. And so we don't want the reporters to go down there and get exposed to it.
Literally nothing makes sense.
Did you see
such
madness?
Can we play the video from the border on the other side of the border of all of the immigrants trying to get in?
Yeah.
Look at that. They're on their
all
knees.
kneeling.
I don't know if it's.
And they're wearing Biden.
Are they praying or is it George
Biden
Floyd?
T-shirts? All of them.
Biden, please let us in. Their T-shirts say. Yeah, Biden and
please let us in. Yeah. Okay, good. That's great. I'm sorry, who did the T-shirts for him? I'd
Who's
like
funding
to know.
this? Talking too fast. I can't follow you. I heard Biden, though.
That's unbelievable.
Por favor.
Not a problem. Don't worry about it. That's okay. Biden, please let him in.
Is Biden keeping them out, though?
Not that I know of.
So just get up off your knees and walk across the border.
Yeah.
I mean, Lindsey Graham just showed us the openings where they just walked away from construction. Seriously, I mean, I still can't get over his transformation. Lindsey Grahamnesty is now border hawk.
It's pretty crazy.
This world, man.
Pretty crazy. All right, let me tell you about real estate agents I trust. If you're trying to sell your home, or you're buying a home, or maybe you're doing both, relocating to a new area, you really need a realtor that you can trust. Somebody who's going to see you through the whole process. Somebody who is really successful, has a great track record, and they know what people in the market are looking for.
Someone you should trust, and
Absolutely.
you can trust.
And somebody who is like-minded, because these are all listeners to the show, and so you're going to have a lot in common with them to begin with. I love that aspect of it. That might be as important to me, actually, as whether or not they have great track records, and they do. And they also have marketing plans that don't rely solely on, okay, well, we'll just do open houses every weekend so you can keep your house immaculate nonstop and then leave it every weekend. That's always fun, too. Buying or selling or doing both, Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name says it all. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
This is great. In Canada, experts are saying that guidelines to place children in solitary quarantine are cruel punishment. Now, apparently, these aren't even kids who have COVID-19. These are kids who have maybe been exposed to someone who had COVID-19, right? And so they got to go into quarantine, in solitary quarantine by themselves for 2 weeks, for 14 days.
And they never have COVID. It's madness. So that's what they're following along in Canada. And so you're putting these kids in their rooms 14 days, and some moms
by themselves.
Yeah, have been posting on Facebook.
How weird
their
is
experiences.
this? Red Island Dreamer tweets, and so the 14-day isolation begins. Nothing has broken my heart like the sound of my 10-year-old crying while I sit on the other side of the door and tell him 14 days will go by quickly.
Again, the kid does not have COVID.
Hoping PH calls so we can get some advice and answers.
Okay, you're a parent.
You're going to leave your kid alone in their room, seriously, for 14 days? Are you really going to do that?
The kid that doesn't have COVID
is...
I think that's what's being lost here.
Even if my kid had COVID, I'm going in the room to, be with them. I'm bringing them food. I'm giving them comfort. I'm not talking to them from the other side of the door.
Yeah, that's insanity. Mm-hmm.
Mom of 3 tweets, exactly us too. I have my 7-year-old in isolation downstairs. He keeps messaging me on Facebook Messenger. Mommy, I'm lonely.
This is sad.
What kind of mother?
What kind of mother?
That's amazing.
This is
my 5-year-old wrote in his journal entry today that he's sad because his brother isn't here. I set up a baby monitor to let the 8-year-old ask for things. 5-year-old using it to talk to 8-year-old.
That's child abuse.
That's unbelievable.
Really?
Seriously.
You're not even opening the freaking door?
Not even going downstairs?
How do
They're alone completely?
How's the kid eat food? Did you just throw a few boxes of cereal in there and said, knock yourself out?
No, you can't feed them. I mean, you can't get close enough, So, you just let them go hungry for a while. It's just 14 days. They can drink out of the faucet downstairs if there is one.
Wait, in their room?
Or maybe go outside, drink out of the hose.
No, you run the hose through their window, like up the side there and into their...
Yeah.
Now, it's in Canada, and it's winter, and so you're never going to be able to fully close the window, but...
whatever. Got this from Pathead Real Random G.
Oh, I like this.
Did some math for us.
Yeah. Talking about those LA Unified School District passes you have to print up every day for the kids to go to school.
Yeah, because 600,000 of them.
Students, yeah.
600,000 students that are going to get the pass every single day of every week of the school year. So that's daily passes for 600,000. That's 1,200 reams. According to Dartmouth University, one tree produces 16 and 2/3 reams on average. So every day, 72 trees are required to be destroyed just to allow LA schools to check in their students.
So in a school year,
72 trees per day.
We said that there are 36 weeks because there's 18 weeks per semester, right? 36 weeks times 5. Check my Keith math, right? We're up to 180. Okay. That doesn't seem right at all. But anyway, 180. 180 school days. Yeah. And how many trees a day? 72?
Yep.
So in a school year, we're killing 12,960 trees.
We've got 3 trillion of them, so don't worry about it.
You want to stop this madness? It's the same with the masks. You got to get the rabid environmentalists on board.
Right. Yeah.
Stop with the daily pass stuff. Stop with the masks that you see everywhere.
We can't stop with the mask. The mask is going to last forever. Our president said that Texas was Neanderthal thinking, that you could actually stop wearing the masks for a while. We're going to be wearing them for a long time. In fact, so much so that our president decided to sing about it yesterday. I don't know did you hear this?
I did not.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It goes a little something like this. You ask, how long we'll wear masks? I'll give you a clue. We'll wear them, says me and Fauci, as long as I tell you to. You ask, how long will that be? I'll tell you true. Until the 12th of never, you'll have a mask on you. Wear your mask. Keep your big mouth shut. Wear that mask. I'll never let you out of this stinking rut. But just until the 12th of never. That's how long you'll wear them.
I'm surprised I didn't.
You didn't see that yesterday?
Get more play in the news.
Yeah, I am too.
Like the president.
Not a great vocal performance.
Broke into song.
And I mean, when Obama did it, it was a pretty big thing, and we played it all the time. Remember when he sang? Everybody paid attention, but not with Biden. Not with Biden.
Wow, that's good.
And here it is. New Yorkers are going to have to show their COVID-19 passport to enter stadiums and theaters and businesses.
Buckle up. We've been telling you this for almost a year. Here it comes.
Buckle up, Buttercup. Cuomo said Tuesday that a new program will require New Yorkers to show COVID-19 passports to enter sports arenas, theaters, and other businesses. The plan establishes an Excelsior Pass, which will use secure technology to prove that a state resident has been vaccinated against COVID-19 or has had a recent negative test.
Wow.
Sites included in the rollout plan include Madison Square Garden and the Barclays Arena, both, of course, entertainment and sports venues. Similar to a mobile airline boarding pass, individuals will be able to either print out their pass. Again, you're killing more trees.
Right? What in the world?
Jeez, man.
Trees no longer matter.
Or print out their pass and store it on their smartphones using the Excelsior Pass's wallet app. Okay. Each pass will have a secure QR code, which venues will scan using a companion app to confirm someone's COVID health status. The program is already underway as the pass was tested Tuesday night's New York Rangers hockey game.
Oh, good. Good. study. They've already started it. Yay. So in other words, you have to either have the vaccine.
Yes. Or you have to have a negative test.
A recent negative test. So lost in all that is you don't get an exemption if you've had COVID.
Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is like you're supposed to be. I mean, that's the same as getting a vaccine, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how long it's good for, the antibodies and everything. But Andrew Cuomo said that your data is secure. You're safe. You're good. Don't worry about your data being leaked out.
Why would I worry about my data? Tell me when a data breach has ever occurred.
Right. It's not like it's not like the federal government itself just yesterday said, we got to get an emergency patch from Microsoft to stop China from hacking all of our departments. They've been inside our stuff with Russia for
a long
time. But Andrew Cuomo, he said, everything's cool. Your info's on lockdown. I trust him. Don't you trust Andrew Cuomo?
You bet. You bet I do. Well, we'll give you more reason to trust him in just a minute.
Oh, good.
He made another really sincere plea, and not really an apology, but it was so sincere and so heartfelt that we have to share it with you.
Good.
Yeah, it's really something. I think you're going to feel really badly for him that he's being accused in such a way. When he explained to us that it's misinterpreted, the things he's saying. That's well, I'll let him explain it in a minute. First, we've been talking about rough greens for quite a while now, which is rough greens is a powder that you sprinkle over your dog's food. It's really easy to do. It gives them all the nutrition they need, the essential vitamins and minerals, the probiotics, the omega oils, anything they need to be healthier and happier and be more puppy-like. Dogs love this stuff. Mine absolutely loves the taste of this. But supposedly there are some dogs who take a little while longer to get used to it. So the first thing we need to figure out is if your dog will eat this. You don't want to get it and then your dog doesn't like it. So you can get a free bag of Rough Greens right now for your dog to try out. All you pay is shipping. Go to roughgreens.com, ruffgreens.com, or you can call 833-RUFF-DOG, R-U-F-F dog. Roughgreens.com. Some tweets here from Sarah and Tired. 72 trees a day. That's a lot of holes in the sky where trees once stood. Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Be careful about this is from Brian. Be careful about the tree talk. Bill Gates would be happy to use chips and kids to get in school.
Yeah, that's what
Problem
we said.
solved.
Yep.
That is
Instead
true.
of printing up the daily pass, chip your kids.
It's true, and that technology certainly exists. He stole it from Xerox. Kara3022 tweets, so when Texas's COVID numbers go up, how long till Democrats pounce to blame Governor Abbott when the new cases will more likely be the COVID-positive illegals they let in? Yeah. I hope the numbers don't go up.
I know, but
it's going to be agonizing if that happens.
That does sound like they planned
Sure
it that way,
does.
doesn't it? Oh, boy. Gonna be fun.
Sarcastic Meat Dust tweets, so conforming COVID vaccination will require ID and verification, but not voting. Right. Yeah, that seems to about sum it all up.
Yeah, and now there's the HR1 or something. Because remember...
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about HR1. We'll do that in a second here.
Okay.
Hang on. The Rona will never go away because it's an excuse for a blank check forever for anything.
Yeah.
And total control, by the way. So, yes, blank checks and total control. And they don't want to give that up ever.
It almost sounds like the war on terror.
Almost does, doesn't it?
Or the war on drugs.
Almost does, doesn't it? Or the war on poverty, which has also gone really, really well. All those wars conducted have cost us tens of trillions of dollars, and we've gotten nowhere on any of it. In fact, every one of those problems got worse.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to make a prediction.
Uh-huh.
State of the Union, whenever that happens, we still don't know when that's happening. The phrase war on COVID, war on the virus, war on something like that will be uttered by Joe Biden.
Yeah, and then they can keep it going forever. So in 2039, we'll be saying, we're about on top of this war on COVID. We almost got there. Just a little while longer. Just just stick with it.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, how long do these wars typically last? About 20 years?
About 20, 30, 40
right,
years.
You had the
50?
war on poverty, which you mentioned.
Started in 64. It still hasn't ended.
Well, yeah, but that verbiage, right? Then we get into the 80s, and then it's the war on drugs. Then we get to 2000s. It's the war on terror, and now we're just due about 20 years later. Here we are at the war on COVID.
A brand new war on this virus would be great right about now. Be really great. All right, there's also a war on Andrew Cuomo, which I want to stop. I really do. Can we call a truce in the war on Andrew?
Hasn't he suffered enough already?
Hasn't he? I mean, you've almost brought the guy to tears. Check this out. This is so sad.
Oh, no.
So
I
sad.
now understand.
He now understands.
That I acted in a way that made people feel uncomfortable. It was unintentional. And I truly and deeply apologize for it. I feel awful about it.
Oh, well, this is all about
and
you.
Frankly,
it's all about
I
you.
am embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
And that's not easy to say.
No, because you're
But that's
an
the
egomaniac. So.
Wow, I didn't once hear I acted inappropriately.
No, or I'm sorry.
My actions made people feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
What a dirtbag.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my microphone on phrase.
Dirtbag?
Yeah, what a dirtbag, scumbag. What did I pull? I pulled some other clip of him because he didn't stop.
I have learned from what has been an incredibly difficult situation.
For you.
For me, as well as other people.
As other people.
That's as close as he gets.
Me and Chris is what he's saying.
Oh. Sorry?
For him and Chris.
Oh, he said, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for whatever pain I caused anyone.
Yeah. All right.
I never intended it.
He never intended it. Never intended to.
And I will be the better for this experience.
Yeah.
And
I don't think so.
Despicable human being. Did we edit that out?
What are the odds he survives this? Now, there's only odds because he's a Democrat. So that gives him the shot.
Right? That gives him a fighter's chance.
Mm-hmm.
Gives him a chance to punch above his weight.
Yep.
Seriously.
But will he? I don't think he can.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he can.
Okay, just a reminder, thousands of elderly died because of his policies.
Yeah, but this is what we're focused on.
This is what gets him under the microscope.
Yep.
I can't.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
And so if he does get forced out of office, which you're saying you think he is going to be?
I think so, yeah.
It's going to be because of this? Not because nothing to do with...
Probably, yeah.
And then no one will be held accountable for the death of the elderly.
Right. Well, I mean, who do you want to be held accountable? That was all Trump's fault. He was only following the Trump administration guidelines. Keith, he's told us that multiple times.
Remember how
he was only following the Trump guidelines.
And then Trump sent those hospital ships that weren't even used.
Right.
That's because all of the people were crammed into nursing homes, left to die.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened. And I think, they had those gigantic ships that could house thousands of people. And I think 5 people were treated at the hospital ship before it was closed down and sent away again. I think there were 5 people, if I remember correctly.
What?
Nah, that's fine. That's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Madness, man. What a world. Every day we say that.
Every day.
What a world.
Mm-hmm.
But, he touched that chick's face.
Yeah, but he didn't intend anything by that. He didn't mean anything by that. He never touched anybody inappropriately. Touching her face was perfectly acceptable. And touching the small of her back when she was barebacked was perfectly fine as well. He had just met this girl.
Yeah.
And he's touching her like that.
Whatever gets him out of office, that's what I say.
Yeah. And I think this will. I think it will. It's going to be too much. Because do you think it's going to stop at 3? I don't.
Do we know who next in line is there? Probably the lieutenant governor.
I don't know the lieutenant
It all
governor.
depends on the lieutenant governor and what that individual is doing behind the scenes as to if this guy makes it or not.
We'll see. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I love that Governor Abbott just said moments ago on a news program that it was a really bad day for Joe Biden to say that removing the mask mandate was Neanderthal thinking, because the Biden administration just released over 100 people with COVID-19 into Texas cities.
Yeah, but they promised to wear masks 24/7, 365.
Yeah, I don't think we got that promise from them. No, I don't think so. But yeah, they were 108 of them, and they were all COVID positive, and they were all let go. All right, see ya.
Whatever.
Have a good time. Bye-bye now, kids.
And then, as was mentioned on Twitter just a moment ago by Kara3022, gonna blame Greg Abbott for the spike in Texas that's coming, probably because of these illegals that were just released.
If it comes, it will be blamed on Abbott and him releasing the mandate. And he said, look, it doesn't mean that people aren't going to wear a mask. They will on their own if they want to. They've already decided what the best practice is for them in the last year, and now it's up to them.
Yep. And lots of stores are going to keep the mandate for their stores.
And they've already said that, so fine. So we can either choose to frequent your business or not. Man, that's the way it should be.
And I will say, if you go to a business that wants you to wear a mask, and if you don't wear a mask, let them approach you.
Okay.
I mean, it's incumbent upon them. It's their business, right? Say something.
Right. Okay.
That's all.
Sure.
Make them make the first move. That's all I'm saying, man.
All right. 888-900-3393. Let's go to Denise in Texas. Hey, Denise. You're on the Blaze.
Hi. How are y'all doing?
Good.
Good. That was going to be one of my first things was, who's the Neanderthal now, Joey Lunchbox?
Joey Lunchbox.
A couple of things. I have not worn a mask since June. Haven't been to that party. And when I do, if I have to for the 5 minutes or whatever, I'll put it below my nose. So I'm done with that party.
Yeah.
Haven't been there. Not doing it.
You're not even going to pretend anymore.
Haven't since June.
Okay.
I've just been waiting for someone to say something
So
to me.
when you go into a business that says you must wear a mask to enter the business, do they ever say anything to you?
Not really.
No?
I'm an old lady. I'm 62, gray hair. Say something to me, please. Please.
They offer you a mask. That's cute.
Yeah. And another thing, do you guys, and this could be conspiracy, do you know that Kamala has not moved into her residence yet? Vice President residence?
No. She still hasn't?
Nope.
Well, you'd hate to move twice in 6 months.
Right? You know that's what that's about. You know it is.
But I ain't moving in there.
That's great.
Really? All right, guys.
Thanks, Denise. Appreciate it. You too.
Really?
Wow. I'll have to look into that.
Hasn't moved.
Because if she has not moved into the residence, you know that's what that's about. She doesn't want to move twice. I'm moving into the White House within 6 months, so I'm not moving into this one too.
And yeah. Let's be honest. Whether you move across the country or across town, it's a pain. It's a hassle.
Sure is.
It doesn't matter how far you move. Next door, just moving your crap is not fun. So she just, it's like, I'm going to be in the White House.
Even when somebody else is moving you, as will be the case with Kamala, obviously, somebody's going to move her and then replace put all of her stuff away and do all of that for her. Still, it's a hassle that she doesn't want to be doing twice in the first 6 months.
Okay, so I found a story from January 21st here.
All right.
That says the Naval Observatory, where the vice president lives, I guess there's the delay is because they're doing some repairs at that house.
Oh.
Yeah.
I see.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the Pences were really tough on the residents,
yeah,
were they?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, did they break a bunch of stuff?
A
lot of parties. Oh my gosh.
The keggers that Mike Pence and his wife held.
When we had the rock band Rat come in and perform at the vice presidential residence, man, it was wild. The beer was flowing and the rock was blazing.
Remember when Murphy Brown would always come home and Eldon was always painting at her house? That's what's going to be happening at the Naval Observatory. I'm just still working here at the old Naval Observatory. They're never going to finish.
go to Todd in New York. Hey, Todd, you're on the Blaze.
Good morning, Pat. How are you doing?
Doing well, thanks. You?
I'm good. Thank you for taking. Very well, thank you. Thanks for taking my call.
Uh-huh.
The reason I called is I heard you talking about Cuomo and all the fun stuff that's happening with him.
Yep.
It just sickens me that they're concentrating on impeachment instead of imprisonment. If you or I were driving down the road and we accidentally killed someone in an automobile accident, we'd be charged with manslaughter. Yet here's a man who is personally responsible for the deaths of over 10,000 people.
Because you can
that executive,
you can absolutely make the case that was negligent, as we would be charged with if, in your case, like your example, that you drive down the road and you're negligent in killing somebody. Yeah, you'll go to jail for that. Well, he's absolutely negligent in putting COVID positive people into nursing homes. It's craziness that's not the case, that he's not being charged with anything. He absolutely should be.
Now I want to know how they're going to be able to prosecute anyone in New York State now for negligent homicide or manslaughter. If we're going to have a two-tier legal system, just let us know. Be square with us so we know where we stand, so that we know if we do something that you do, we're going to get in trouble for it. It's just disgusting.
Exactly. Disgusting. Appreciate it. Thanks, Todd. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. By the way, we mentioned this voting rights bill that passed the House yesterday. This is great. It's the For the People Act.
Oh, remember, it's always the opposite.
It provides sweeping reforms to protect voters' rights, increase election security, mandate independent redistricting, and more. And lots more. It's so great. First introduced and passed in 2019, the bill, with one Democrat joining all voting Republicans to oppose the bill. 2 Republicans didn't vote. The bill had no chance of becoming law when Republicans controlled the Senate, of course, but now it certainly does. However, it faces the prospect of a GOP filibuster. I mean, they're saying that. Let me read what the Sarbanes said about this. Americans across the country in 2020 were forced to overcome rampant voter suppression, gerrymandering, and a torrent of special interest dark money just to exercise their vote and their voice in our democracy, which we don't have. But why is it a conspiracy theory to say that votes were miscounted or that huge boxes full of votes showed up in the middle of the night? That's a conspiracy, even though there's video evidence of it. But it's perfectly fine to say that there was rampant voter suppression and gerrymandering and special interest dark money involved. That's perfectly fine. That's no conspiracy. And you know what the voter suppression is? You have to bring an ID to the voting booth.
Whoa!
You have to bring an ID.
Back off.
I know.
Hateful white.
It's like you're trying to kill all minorities right there and keep them from the poll.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you know what? Minorities don't have ID. They can't get it. They don't know how.
Remember,
they can't get on the internet, and they can't get an ID.
As that Pat had pointed out earlier, you're gonna need this pass to get into a hockey game that's got your medical records on it.
But you don't need a thing.
Don't need to prove who you are for your sacred vote.
Yeah, because we don't care. We don't care who you are.
Here is what Steve Scalise tweeted out last night. Every single American should be outraged by this. Democrats just voted to ban voter ID nationwide and force every state to permanently expand mail-in voting. I'm sorry.
You can't
I thought we just learned that each state gets to do their own thing. That's how they were able to manipulate the 2020 election. But now it's a national thing now. Screw you. And don't forget the tip that Congressman Thomas Massey gave to all incoming freshmen. What's the one thing you would tell them? Don't vote for single-digit bills. Because those are the highest priority. Those numbers are reserved for the Speaker of the House. So he was telling incoming freshmen.
And this is H.R.
One. Their highest priority, Nancy Pelosi and the gang, their highest priority is to steal your vote.
It has to be stopped. This bill has to be killed in the Senate. McConnell called it a terrible bill and not giving it any floor time. But with the 50-50 Democrats and the vote from Kamala, they have the ability to do the 50+1. It's possible that could happen. Unless we filibuster.
They haven't gotten rid of that yet, huh?
Not quite yet.
Yeah, that's coming.
I'm afraid they're going to, though.
They already laid the groundwork. That was their whole excuse for no $15 an hour minimum wage, which, by the way, AOC wants it to be $24.
$24 for the for the minimum wage?
Yeah. And so I remember that night when that bill failed. That's when Elizabeth Warren was like, "This is because of Mitch McConnell, and the filibuster needs to go away." Yeah, but AOC is not happy with even the $15. You want that video?
Yeah, well, apparently we're living in according to her, dystopian capitalist nightmare.
Yes.
And that the minimum wage should actually be $24 an hour, not $15.
Watch this clip. Watch this.
Listen, I think that if not just Senator Manchin, but any person who thinks that a $15 minimum wage is the crazy socialist agenda is living in a dystopian capitalist nightmare. And we should not prop that up. We should not continue that. People are sleeping in their cars. They can't afford baby formula. There are basic goods that people can't afford to live on $7.25. It is deeply, deeply shameful that we are even having this conversation, because when you take the minimum wage from several decades ago and you actually account for inflation and productivity gains to today, it should be $24 an hour. So we need other Democrats to understand how deep of a compromise $15 an hour is. And by the way, this bill has a multi-year phase-in as well. So even if we pass this to progressives' discontent, by the way, we are talking about a multi-year phase-in, which will, really chip away even more. So $15 for as you mentioned, his own constituents believe in a $15 minimum wage. In almost every pocket of this country, you cannot afford rent if you are making minimum wage. And in the United States of America, you should, if you are working a full-time job, you should be able to afford to live. And by the way, when we keep minimum wage artificially low, it's at a huge cost to our government and taxpayers as well, because there are essentially enormous subsidies to companies
I can't take
Walmart,
anymore.
I can't, please.
Why not $1,000 an hour?
Sure.
Why are we stopping at 24? Why wouldn't you go to $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 an hour? If everybody deserves a living wage, well, I mean, if I want to live in Manhattan, I'm going to need $1,000 an hour because it's really expensive to live in New York.
Well,
I mean, you're paying $1,000 per square foot to live in New York. That's too much. That's too much. So let's really make the minimum wage a livable wage for everyone, that every single family can live on for the rest of their lives, and they can just stay on minimum wage. They don't have to ever get a salaried position. Let's just do that. Why don't we do that?
And the last time they expanded the federal minimum wage, American Samoa got an exemption. Might want to look into that one, Nancy Pelosi.
Interesting.
Del Monte Foods.
Right.
Based San Francisco.
Oh, man. Let me take 1 minute. Tell you about Brooker's Founding Flavors. The best ice cream on the planet. Brooker's Founding Flavors ice cream. It's fantastic. I love this stuff. I can't get enough of it. This is not like the artificially flavored pump full of air garbage that you buy at the grocery store. That's, usually 8 or 10% butterfat. Now, the premium is about 12% butterfat. And then the super premium is 14%. Well, Brooker's is around 16% plus. That's quality ice cream. It's also hand-packed. It's really dense, and it's so good. I've actually been to their ice cream parlor in Utah, and the experience is really fun because it's like you're in a colonial tavern from 1776. But you don't have to live in Utah or even visit Utah in order to enjoy it. Go to Brooker's website, brookersicecream.com. Just click on the Ship Nationwide tab, and you can get this and experience this in your own home. brookersicecream.com.
Beware, Pat Gray is unleashed.
Apparently there's a problem with adults in America.
End of sentence.
Yes. That could be the
Full
end right
stop.
there. But this is a particularly bizarre problem that is hard to believe exists.
No,
Apparently there are adults, and a lot of them, who can't tell their left from their right.
You talking politically?
No. I'm talking their left hand from their right hand. They don't know which is which.
Oh no, honey.
So if you tell somebody you go down this street, you take a right turn, they're like, "Oh man, right turn."
I mean,
which is that?
That's how we do it in the South. You get out to the Midwest, they're like, you go west for 8 miles, and then you're gonna turn to the north. Take that for 2 miles. In the South, we're just like, you turn right, you go down, then you get to this street, you turn left. But you're
especially here in Dallas, because I have no idea about directions here. No idea, because there's no landmark, there's no mountain range, there's no topography that helps you out with that.
That's interesting.
At least for me.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway.
Yeah, what's going on?
People can't tell their left from their right. So, for instance, this tattoo artist in Sydney, Australia, recently posted a photo of a client who requested that the letters L and R
come on,
be permanently tattooed on her hands to help her navigate the world.
No.
You see, on her left hand is the letter L, and on her right hand, the letter R.
No.
You look like an idiot.
Yes.
That is amazing.
That hurts.
That is.
I don't like that.
Absolutely incredible.
And so, but she's like the only person in the world that doesn't know her left from her right.
Well, almost 15% of the general population reported having trouble identifying left from right.
Okay, so
not 15%.
Can HR 1 put a provision there if you don't know the difference?
Then you cannot vote.
You get out of line. You're done.
Right?
Your day's over.
Right?
We're
so done as a society.
Done, Pat.
It's over. It was a fun ride, though, for a while.
It sure was. And I hate
really
it for
good.
my kids that they didn't get to experience.
But we gave it the old college try. Whatever.
When did we hit our peak, do you think?
I don't know.
Was it March of 2020?
No, it was long before that.
Oh, it was long before that?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was long before that. We've been running on empty for a while.
Yeah.
In fact, you just did this poll online. When it comes to the future of America, are you more hopeful or more fearful? Now, what would you guess? But this is overwhelming. Fearful wins 82.2 to 17.8.
Yeah. Now, that's your audience.
Yeah.
Admittedly. But see, they're in touch with the news. They know what time it is.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of reason to be fearful. Okay. and
you're welcome for all of this happy talk this morning.
And I appreciate the comments, the reassurances that God's in control and Jesus is coming back and all that good stuff.
Yes.
But thing is, couple of things.
When Jesus comes back, there's going to be some things that precede that.
Is there? Okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
No, but here's what I would say to that. Yes, God's in control, but we don't know his plan. And Jesus is coming back, but nobody knows when. So until then, we have stories about people getting tattoos on their thumbs that say L and R, and we have to breathe the same air as them. This world sucks.
And we have to try to counteract their voting habits. So it's a problem.
Does HR 1 put an exemption in there for machines to vote, or
not yet?
Okay.
No. This is interesting too. Amanda Gorman, you remember who she is? She's the inauguration poet girl. She's 22. She did that poem.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty good poem. She wowed the world with it, and I think she really did. She did an original poem for the inauguration, And apparently now there's international demand for her work.
Oh, that's good for her.
So with that in mind, Dutch publisher Muhlenhof got somebody, Marieke Lucas Reinveld, to translate Gorman's collection, The Hill We Climb, into Dutch. Because the Dutch in, I don't know, the Netherlands or Holland or Dutchland or wherever they live.
Dutchland.
Why do they have so many names? Take one. Pick one.
Seriously.
Pick a name and
one.
stick to it, for the love of heaven. There are countries on this planet who don't have a single name because you've taken so many.
Right?
There are unnamed countries that we just call that place near whatever. Because Netherlands, Holland, Dutch. What is it with you people?
It's such a good
What
point.
is it?
I'm so sick of that. Because you sit there, you have to stop and you go, okay, wait, is this the same place?
Dutchland, Dutch, where is that? Wait, I'm sorry, is that Holland? Is it the Netherlands? Is it Norway?
And then,
is
like
it
you
Finland?
said,
Where the hell?
there's countries without names.
Right.
That we just say over there.
Over there, that place, you know.
And then there's countries that have silly names like Liechtenstein.
Right.
That's
just made up.
Could use one of these.
Just made up name. That's not even a real name. Liechtenstein is not even a real name. Okay? Somebody just said, hey, what's that place near, the really tiny place near France? It's Liechtenstein. Oh. Okay, so they just started calling it that. That's not its real name. That's ridiculous. Anyway, before we run out of time.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry, we had a story.
Got to tell you that the hand-picked Reinveld, who won an International Booker Prize at the age of 29, making her the youngest recipient of the award ever, to translate her work, there's a problem.
Oh, no, what?
She's not black, and so she can't translate Gorman's words. Gorman said that she will no longer serve as her translator because she must have a black translator. Okay, so there you go.
Wow. Welcome to...
Are there black people in Dutchland? I don't know. I don't even know.
No, let's see, maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the real issue here.
And here's the other thing. Can only blacks work with blacks now? Have we decided that segregation, we're going to break off into groups and stay among our group only, and that's a good thing now? Are we back to segregation being good? Because I thought integration was the way to go. In the 50s and 60s, that's what we were told. Now we're being told it's the opposite again, I guess. So if you can only work with blacks, that's interesting, because I thought we overcame that a while ago.
We've come full circle in the world.
Full circle. We're right back to it. Wow. That is amazing.
What a great day.
It is fun. It was fun.
Hey, tomorrow.
We'll have more fun tomorrow.
Friday, Jeffy will be here.
Right.
That'll be fun.
Right.
It's going to be.
It will. It will be fun. And we'll kick off the weekend together. We'll see you then. Have a great day. And how could you not after everything you just heard? You know?
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.